Hello, I'm Erik Robey.
And I'm Karla Schaffer, and this is Anne Arundel County Week in Review, making headlines this week. You probably know this already, but we have a much lower tax burden here in Anne Arundel County than in our neighboring counties, and we'd like to keep it that way. That's why County Executive John Leopold is looking under every couch cushion in this tough budget time. This week, he announced that the county has recovered more than $2 million in delinquent personal and commercial property tax bills over the past year and a half. The Finance Office and the Office of Law work together to make sure that all of the available tax revenue is collected. This can come in many forms, including a letter from a lawyer. We also work with people who have true hardships, but often the bill is settled by the delinquent person when they get a letter from a county lawyer or have a lien placed on their property. County Executive Leopold said of the effort, "In these difficult fiscal times, it is important to balance spending reductions, new revenue sources, and creative ways of recouping revenue in order to continue to avoid tax increases." Well, Erik, I hope all of your taxes and water and sewer bills are up to date. But if you want to double check, you can call 410-222-1144 or check your bill online at www.aacounty.org.
We should call this the Ka-Ching Show because of all the stories about money. Don't worry, we'll save the tax preparation advice for another show. This week, County Executive John Leopold announced more good news on the revenue front. The county has collected more than $8.5 million under the new fee collection system that bills insurance companies for ambulance services. The fee became law in April of 2009, and it recoups money that the county had previously not billed for, despite the millions of dollars it costs each year to provide ambulance and rescue services. The program does not bill individual residents. County Executive Leopold said of the fee, "I am pleased that our fire department has been able to execute this program without negatively impacting citizens' access to emergency medical services. Insurance companies are now bearing their fair share of the cost of providing essential services previously borne solely by the taxpayers."
This week, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to 1,346 calls for service. This included more than 1,071 emergency medical calls and 85 fire calls. This week, a Gambrels man drowned after falling through the ice at an Edgewater area pond, and a Severn family unexpectedly welcomed their newborn into the world with the help of the County Fire Department dispatcher. With more now to tell us about these incidents is Division Chief Michael Cox of the Anne Arundel County Fire Department. Chief?
Thanks, Karla. Around 12 noon on Sunday, January 16, 2011, Anne Arundel County firefighters were called to a pond behind the South River Colony's River Oaks townhouses located in the area of Stephanie's Lane and Riverton Place in Edgewater. A call was received by a resident who stated that while exercising her dog on the trail, she noted a hole in the ice and what appeared to be some shoes near the hole. The caller stated she had walked her dog through the same area yesterday and that the ice was frozen solid. In all, more than 20 firefighters were summoned to the scene to search the area. Fire department divers arrived and entered the water in the area of the holes. Within minutes of entering the water, divers did locate and remove the body of a male who was estimated to be in his mid to late 20s. An investigation into the incident by county police has revealed that the deceased was a 28-year-old male from Gambrels. However, additional details into the incident were not immediately available. The deceased was transported to the State Medical Examiner's office in Baltimore, and county police advised that the investigation into the incident remains ongoing. On a happier note, a Severn family got a bigger surprise than they bargained for when they were en route to Anne Arundel Medical Center for the birth of their second child on Monday. Shortly after leaving their home, everything seemed to be going just fine until Mom communicated to her husband that she could feel that the baby was coming. In this case, Dad quickly pulled over to the side of Route 97 and called 911. Firefighter Kyle Leichling was one of the dispatchers on duty at the time and was the one who took the 911 call from Mr. Strasser. Firefighter Leichling was able to provide instructions to Dad, which included catching the baby, cleaning its airway, placing the baby on Mom's chest, tying off the umbilical cord with a shoestring, and as well as covering the mom and the baby so that they both remained warm. County Fire Department paramedics arrived just minutes after the birth and took over care for Mom and the newborn baby boy. They both were transported to Anne Arundel Medical Center, where they were admitted. Dad was calmly able to care for his other child, an 18-month-old son, who was strapped into his car seat and got to see his little brother enter the world in an expedited fashion. They both arrived shortly after Mom and the newborn to wish them well at the hospital. Karla?
Thank you, Chief. County fire officials advised that the 7-pound baby boy and mom were doing fine and expected to be released as normal. We would like to congratulate the Strassers on the birth of their second son and the fine job that Dad did helping bring baby Strasser into the world.
That's great. They delivered a baby.
That's
I mean,
cool.
that's just on the side of 97. Traffic zooming by, ice and snow out there. Here comes the baby.
Right.
What a way to come into the world. What a story. We should have that. Here's the goal. In 5 years, I'm going to have that kid on the show.
Okay.
Put him on Week in Review.
We should. Even sooner than that.
All right. We can do it sooner
Have the
than
Strassers over.
Sounds like a great plan. Well, folks, there's more Week in Review to come. When we come back, we'll be joined by some members of the local band Pandomonia. You're going to want to stay tuned for this one. They're from Severna Park High School, and they'll be competing in the Battle of the Bands competition. As we go into the break, take a look at the community calendar for what's happening here in Anne Arundel County. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome home, man.
And welcome back, folks. Well, in just a couple of days, it's the Battle of the Bands taking place here in Anne Arundel County. This is the contest that picks the best our high school has to offer. We have some very special guests with us in studio today, Karla, and I want everybody to meet them. This is Pandomonia, the band from Severna Park High School. You've seen them last week as the credits rolled on the show here, and the guys are with us today. So before we jump in to talk about the band and we talk about what you have upcoming, let's introduce you guys. So we'll start in the back with you, Corey.
Okay.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
Okay.
Just give us your name and the instrument that you play.
Okay. I'm Corey Johnson. I go to Old Mill and I play. I guess started off with a tambourine, then they gave me a floor tom. Then after that, they gave me a keyboard, and then there's a slide guitar. They've just been keep handing me instruments and vocals. Also do vocals.
Yeah,
So is there anything he doesn't do?
No, he's
whatever
very
we want him to.
Jack of all trades.
he's very multi-talented.
Great, great. Well, we've got the younger version of the band here, the manager, and
Okay. I am Shane McCord, and I play guitar.
that's great. Start in the front.
I'm Devin McCord, and I play the drums.
Okay.
I'm Sam Scarfield, and I play the bass. Well, I'm Mikey Powers, and I play rhythm guitar, and I sing lead vocals.
Okay, great. Well, I think our viewers and listeners, what they really want to know is how did this band form and where did the name Pandomonia come from?
Okay, Shane.
Do you want us to answer the first one first? Okay, Shane, go ahead with the history.
Well, in 2008, in January, we played our first show at Manhattan Beach Club because we know this one lady, I guess.
Laura McKay.
And she runs Manhattan Beach Club, and she's like, hey, yeah, just play first. And I mean, everyone was in 8th grade, and I was in 6th grade at that time, and basically just kicked off from there. We've played there a lot since. We've played there like at least once every 2 months or something like that.
Okay, so for our name, well, I have to say it was back in, let me see, 8th grade, and every week we got like the big thing that we got in our grade books was just like the vocabulary test. So we got like 10 vocabulary words a week, and one of my weeks I had Pandomonia, so I was just like, Pandemonium. Like, what is that? And then I kind of learned what it was. And I did memorize it. I memorized all 10 words that week. Got an A on my test. But actually later on, I think in the same like period within a month, I was riding on the bus and I was kind of listening to music on my iPod. And I started getting like all like I started getting so many ideas because we had gone through several band names, which was totally like, we don't want to. Well, we had lifetime warranty at the time.
I made that one up.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah,
pretty good.
good. Yeah, and then we had Incision.
That was horrible. That's like a metal
we had
band.
Blind Path and things like
Sliders.
the Sliders. Didn't really.
Those weren't with us. Those were with other local kids. And they
Okay.
Yes. Okay. But with all of us, so I was on the bus and I was thinking, and Pandomonia just like came to me. I was just like, how could it be? Just, I don't know. It just came out, and I was just like Pandomonia, and it's not like it wasn't. It's kind of a hard question to live up to because it seems like it should be like epically like, how did you get your name? But it's really.
So do you think it describes your sound, or
Oh, definitely.
what kind of sound do you have, and what are some of your musical influences?
Well,
Well-
the word isn't a real word.
True.
It's
I have
okay,
to
but
clarify.
it's a good word. I like
It
that.
is a good word. Maybe they should put it in the dictionary.
Yes. What you asked our sound or style, and we like to call it strawberry fusion and scene rock. And
What does that mean for the musically challenged like me? who-
strawberry
I know
fu-
sports. I can talk to you about touchdowns and field goals, but when you start talking music
Well, I'm
stuff,
not sure
you
what
gotta
that
help
means
me out.
either.
well,
Okay.
We made both the words up.
No
we
wonder
did
I
it.
don't know.
No, strawberry
Personally.
fusion's on the word.
Strawberry is a
fusion-
word, and fusion
It's
is a
two
word.
words.
They're real words.
Right, right,
You
right.
made up the term.
Yeah,
Yes.
well,
Okay.
we were kind of fusing two music styles together at one point, and I really like smoothies. I really like strawberries, so we're like, oh, strawberry fusion, because we weren't fusion. That's like weird stuff sometimes, like rap music with a fiddle or something like that.
Rap music, even I know enough that doesn't work. Rap music with a
And
fiddle.
then
You'd be surprised at what they do.
End Scene Rock was because all of our songs sound like they should be played at the end of movies.
Huh.
The
Got
last
it.
scene.
Yeah.
like it did.
Like it did, like we
Yeah,
put you guys in
last
the
week.
credits
Our
last
recent
week.
songs. Our recent.
We didn't even tell you guys.
Our
Yeah.
most recent song.
So tell us a little bit about Battle of Bands is coming up, and we'll do a promo for you guys on that next weekend, next Saturday. Big show. Where's it going to be held?
Maryland Hall.
Maryland Hall. A lot of
Hall of
bands.
Maryland.
Pretty much every high school in the county has a band that they've entered into this. What are the chances for Pandomonia?
Well, I hope that they're high because I think we have a good chance. We're really catchy music. Like we have a lot of really dancey, fun music. That's our whole point is like to have a lot of fun. Like we put a lot of heart and soul into it, and it's just to get up and go and have as much fun and dancing as we possibly can. Get the crowd really gets into it too. We're actually one of the songs that we're doing at Battle Bands. We're bringing people from the audience up on stage to sing.
Uh-oh. Now your competition might do the same thing.
Everybody's gonna be watching this.
wake up.
Don't even
Well, guys, let's get past Battle of the Bands here. What's Battle of the Bands? Big thing for you guys as high schoolers. Everybody will be there. Your classmates, your parents, a lot of folks from the community. But what's next for Pandomonia? What are the future plans of the band?
This summer, we are
The
going.
freshman answers the question.
Yes.
Maybe we should go with Corey.
Corey.
Go ahead.
This summer, we are going on a tour. We're opening for local bands from each state. Like, we're going up to Boston, but we're stopping by New York and Philadelphia and stuff. And we're trying to meet bands now. And we're opening up for bands in each state, just local shows. But
Most of the people we already know because it's people that we used to play with since we've been playing for a while, and they've just graduated and gone to college, gone to different places. So a lot of people we're talking to are that we don't really are sure where we're actually playing right now though.
But it's basically going to be like 10 days in August that we're just driving, just the 5 of us.
That's really exciting.
We're gonna live off of
We're going to live off of ramen
Gotta
noodles.
get his dad's
ramen noodles and peanut butter.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great high school story.
It honestly,
Sounds
it's
like a
like
great trip.
every high schooler's dream. Who
Yeah.
doesn't want to do that?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, we appreciate you coming on the show. Anything you want to leave our viewers with? Anything that we should know about you guys as a band? I understand you guys have become great friends. You were doing something earlier there. Why don't you show me that again?
The
Show me
fingers.
how
all
connected
five.
Pandomonia is.
we really, the way I would go
Five
about
of us.
explaining to it, there is 5 of us, which, as we all know, there are 5 fingers on the human hand.
This guy's a scientist.
We do have the one finger. This is me right here.
So you're number 1.
That's me, Devin. We got sort of Sam coming in like to the side. He is really tall. Notice the middle finger, the tallest finger of them all. I did use an accurate representation of his body figure. And the third figure, slightly tall but not as tall, would be Shane coming in there.
Got it.
The third. And we got the pinky right here, Corey. I'm sorry.
I don't think I can
You're pretty short. He is the senior of the group, though, and he's right there. And we got Mikey. He's kind of, he's just...
He holds it all together.
This is really an insult, but I'm not trying to say anything. You are my thumb, and we all come together, and that's Pandomonia.
Well, you guys, you heard it here. This is a great group of guys. They're going to have a lot of fun next Saturday. Come out and see them at Maryland Hall. And good luck to you guys in the Battle of the Bands competition. And
Thank you.
Best of luck on that road trip. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
This guy's going to be an announcer. All right, guys, that's all we have here from the interview set. We're going to go ahead and go into break. And when we come back, there'll be more Week in Review.
There's a place not so far away. Ask your parents to take you. Come to the forest, where the other you lives. But first, stop by discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. On January 14th at approximately 7:30 p.m., officers from the Northern District responded to assist the Maryland Transit Police after a pedestrian was struck on Baltimore-Annapolis Boulevard in Glen Burnie in front of the light rail station. Joining us now is Public Information Officer Justin Mulcahy with further details on this investigation. Justin.
Thanks, Eric. When officers arrived on scene, they found a pedestrian lying in the roadway with what was described as non-life-threatening injuries. Now, the initial investigation revealed that the pedestrian, who was identified as Enid Dukuli, was crossing Baltimore-Annapolis Boulevard in a dark area while wearing dark clothing and was struck by a vehicle that was traveling south on Baltimore-Annapolis Boulevard. Now, Ms. Dukule was in a designated crosswalk. However, she was crossing against the don't walk pedestrian signals. Personnel from the Anne Arundel County Fire Department Paramedic 31 transported Ms. Dukule to University of Maryland Shock Trauma, where she remained in critical condition. And the investigation indicated that pedestrian error is the primary cause of the crash. Now, the striking vehicle did not remain on scene and is believed to be a sports utility vehicle with an unknown make. Now, the traffic safety section was contacted at approximately 10 p.m. that evening and advised that Ms. Dukuli's injuries were now being listed as life-threatening. At this time, anyone with any information on this crash or the vehicle description, please contact the traffic safety section with any information that you may have. That number is 410-222-8573. You can contact the Anne Arundel County Police Department at 410-222-8610 or call 911. Moving on to our second incident, that took place on January 15th around 11 o'clock in the evening. That's when officers from the Western District responded to the area of Marcy Creek Road in Russet Green and Laurel in response to a robbery of 2 citizens. There were 2 adult victims in this case. They were 18 and 20 years old. They were having apparent mechanical trouble with their vehicle, and they were stopped in the area of Marcy Creek Road at Russet Green West to look at the engine. After they stopped, 4 suspects reportedly ran at them from nearby bushes. 2 of the suspects were wearing masks. One masked suspect displayed a knife and demanded the victim's property. The victims complied, but one of the victims indicated that he was punched during the robbery and actually knocked to the ground. The victim also believed one of the masked suspects deployed some type of electronic control device that was similar to a taser, where he was stunned in the back before fleeing with undisclosed property. Officers canvassed the immediate area, located 2 persons that matched the descriptions that were provided. The victims identified these 2 people as being involved in the aforementioned robbery, and both suspects were placed under arrest. The 2 arrested suspects were juveniles. They're being charged as adults. The charges include armed robbery, first-degree assault, and second-degree assault. At this time, the investigation remains very active, and detectives are trying to identify the remaining 2 suspects and locate any witnesses. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Western District Station at 410-222-6155 or contact the police department at 410-222-8610 or call 911. The first arrested suspect in this case is Davon Nixon, 16 years old, of the unit block of Oak Run Road in Laurel. The second suspect is Derek Wilson, also 16 years old, of 8116 Shannon's Alley in Laurel, Maryland. And again, we have 2 outstanding suspects. One described as a black male wearing dark clothing and a mask, and the other described as a black male wearing dark clothing. As always, folks, if you have any information on anything we mentioned on the show, don't hesitate to call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers Hotline. That's available 24 hours a day, toll-free. The phone number, that's 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. Now, you can text message MCS plus your message to crimes at 274-637. The third option would be to visit the website at www.metrocrimestoppers.net. Remember, phone calls are not recorded and callers remain anonymous. You might be eligible for a cash reward of up to $2,000. Back to you, Eric.
Thank you, Justin.
Last week, Pam Jordan from the Department of Aging and Disabilities brought us news about a disability forum planned and sponsored by Anne Arundel Women Giving Together. This week, Pam joins us again reporting from the event. Pam?
Well, thanks, Karla. Well, I'm back to you this week again from Woods Memorial Church in Severna Park. And you might remember last week we brought you information about a special event coming up sponsored by Anne Arundel Women Giving Together. So tonight was the event, and this was a forum on disability issues. And my guests again, I'm very pleased to have Bronwyn Belling, and welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be back with you tonight.
Now, for those people that weren't with us last week, could you tell us a little bit more about your organization? Of course, you're the president of the group.
Sure. Anne Arundel Women Giving Together is a new women's giving circle. We're just reaching our 5th year of membership and organization, and we pool our funds collectively and make grants to nonprofits in the community to help improve the quality of life for women and families here in Anne Arundel County.
And that's just a wonderful mission. And, of course, despite the bad weather today, you got a lovely turnout here tonight.
That's right. It's always a challenge to get to meetings in the evening in the winter, but we had a great turnout and a very provocative discussion, a conversation about helping helping residents of the county and their families and advocates identify support services in the areas of helping people with disabilities.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you. And also joining me again is Joanna Clark. Welcome, Joanna.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Now, you were the moderator this evening. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of our panelists that we had?
Yes, we had Mike Drummond, who is director of Arundel Lodge and provides mental health services to adults. We had Vicki Callahan with Opportunity Builders, and they're also vocational service for developmentally disabled adults.
Right.
And we had Laura Sheehan Carr, who is chair of the local ARC for this county. And Kathy Purple Cherry, who is a parent and a great advocate and has a lot of experience in this area.
That's wonderful. Those are all great names in this field and are big advocates for individuals with disabilities. That sounds like an excellent panel that we had.
I think it really was, and the discussion was great.
Well, great. Well, now for further information on Anne Arundel Women Giving Together, how would they get in touch with you and to learn more about this initiative that you had here this evening?
We have a website. It's givingtogether.org, and anyone can read about upcoming events, can learn about membership, can read about prior grants, and we'd welcome really anyone to attend our events. They're open to the public and to consider joining. We have 165 members as of tonight, and we're just thrilled because that means there are more grants that we're able to make into the community to help nonprofits make this a better place to live for all of us.
Well, keep up the good work, both of you, and thank you very much. Karla, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio. Reporting from Severna Park for Anne Arundel County Week in Review, I'm Pam Jordan.
Thank you, Pam. And Erik has moved over to the Sports Palace to bring us this week's sports highlights and the Recreation and Park Spotlight. Erik?
Thanks, Karla. Well, it's a little chilly over here in the Sports Palace today, but it's still a great day to be a sports fan. In this week's Recreation and Park Spotlight, Franklin Cheney talks with Topper Ellis at the Andover Apache's youth football and cheerleading banquet at Blobbs Park. Franklin.
Thank you, Erik. Erik, I am here today at the Andover Apache's football banquet in Blobbs Park in Jessup. And with me on the show to start out the show is Topper Ellis. I don't know how to explain but you've been with the Andover Apache organization for a very long time. Today you're being inducted to the Hall of Fame. First of all, Topper, let's talk about the Andover Apache organization, what it means to the kids in that area, and kind of give us a history of the organization.
What it means to the kids is an opportunity to get out, get active, and to learn the concept of team and what it means to be the backup for another person and to help others in a situation with sports.
That's a perfect way to put it. Now, the Andover Apache organization has been around for a long time and has many, many dedicated leaders. You are being honored today for your long-term dedication. Tell us what that means to you.
Well, to be honest, it was an opportunity back in 1989, and the opportunity to be around kids, coach them, gave me the opportunity to coach my own sons, watch my daughter grow, and watch kids accelerate and succeed, not only in sports, but in life. And the one thing about being in an organization this long, you start coaching their children. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Well, that's great to hear. Now, I always say when we talk to our volunteers that one of the goals of a volunteer is to make your community a better place and ultimately make the world a better place. And I know in working with you, you've done that. And congratulations to all that you've done.
I appreciate it. And I want to thank Andover for giving me the opportunity. That's who I want to thank.
Well, they're a great organization led by Bill Matheny, and you know, a lot of people. I hate to name just Bill, but he does a lot for the organization.
Yes, he does. He does. He's been my backup. And there's certain things I know I couldn't have done without his backup, and I appreciate it.
And that's what volunteers are all about: is working with each other to make the organization a better place.
Yes, sir. There's nothing like it, and it's one of those things that I'm gonna do for the rest of my life.
Well, that's great to hear. Now, I had an opportunity to talk to some of the coaches with the Andover Apache organization. We're going to go to that right now. I'm here with Coach Dan Slacum. Dan, we're here at the Andover football banquet. What's this banquet mean to your players and you as a coach?
It's just a chance for everybody to get back together, and we all missed each other. Never want the season to truly end, and so this is another way for all of us to just hang out again and, bring back old memories. So
and spend, about youth sports. Part of it is the social aspect. Get you a chance to, be with your friends and everything.
Exactly. It's all about the kids too, and that's why I do it. I love being around the kids. So.
Now, this year you coached a 5-year-old team. Yeah. What was that like?
Oh, it's fun. It's a daycare with equipment on, so it's a blast though. I love them. I love the kids. I like seeing them because none of them have a clue about the football, and after the season's end, and you've seen a totally different kid come out of it, and they understand and they know the positions. When you tell them what to do, by the end of the year they're doing it. So that's where I get the enjoyment from.
Well, on behalf of Recreation and Parks, we appreciate your dedication and enjoy it today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. I'm now here with Coach Chris Gogren. Chris, you coach the older guys.
Yes,
how did the season go? And tell me about the banquet today.
Well, the season went well. Starting out, we had very few kids show up, so we had to pretty much fight to get a team together. But we started out really strong, finished kind of strong, so we had a really good opportunity for these kids to learn and maybe next year get on to their local high school team. And as far as that, I hope most of these here are having a good time. So the banquet's a good time for us all.
Now, it's this banquet to kind of get your group together, re-energize them. I know the football season's still not 7 months away, but it's always football season, right?
Well, as you know, as a coach, football season never stops. So at this time right now, especially after the holidays, it gives people time to relax and get back together and, like you said, re-energize, get ready for the next season. So yeah, it's a good time for us all.
All right. Well, Chris, we appreciate your volunteerism and best of luck in the future.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your support.
Sure thing. All right, I'm here with cheerleading coach Sam Jakubik. Did I say that right?
Yep, you did.
All right, Sam, first of all, congratulations on the season. What's this banquet mean to you as a cheerleading coach, and how's it going so far?
I think it's going good, I guess because of the weather. A lot of people didn't come. We only had 6 of our cheerleaders out of like 21. The peewees, I have the little ones. So everybody wants to come and be appreciated, get their trophies, and have their moment up there to get their picture taken and do all that. So I think it's a good thing.
Now, how did the season go for the cheerleading organization?
Everything went really good. We did good at competitions. All the games that we could attend, we tried to attend, and they enjoy it.
Now, as a coach, what is your philosophy that you relate to the girls, and what do you expect from them?
Definitely want them to have a good time, and at least try to have some kind of structure and keep everything in line as much as we possible. Like I said, we have 3, 4, and 5-year-olds as the small ones, so as much as you can keep that in line, we definitely try to do that.
Well, congratulations on your success, and we appreciate your volunteerism.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you for being here.
Thanks.
I'm now here with Coach Scott Barron. Scott, at the Andover football banquet, tell me what this banquet kind of means and how it kind of summarizes the season for you guys.
Well, it's supposed to be about the kids, all right? It gives them a little something back. It's a hard work. As you know, we start in July. It's an everyday commitment, okay? It runs all the way through darn near to Christmas. This is something that's supposed to be, you know, like a party for the kids, like an atmosphere and a reward given back to them. Kids get special awards and things like that, and to see the smiles on their faces and stuff, they really know that they have achieved something, and it really feels special when you have someone on your team that you know get those awards.
Well, it's a football season is a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, like you said. But a lot of you guys give out a lot of trophies here, so like you say, a lot of smiles, a lot of smiles.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of happy people here today, and it really is.
And as you said, that's what's really all about.
Right, and as being a coach, you wait for this day, you get that as a kickback for your hard work and your dedication with the kids, and when you see those smiles back in return, that's what brings you back the following year. You know you've done a good job.
Right. Well, on behalf of Recreation and Parks, we appreciate the hard work that you do and your volunteers, and thank you very much.
All right, we appreciate you being here today. Right. Thank you very much.
All right, have a good one.
You too, buddy.
Chopper, it was great to hear from those coaches, a lot of enthusiasm, and a lot to look forward to next year for the Andover Apache organization.
Yes, sir, and not only next year, the year after, it's going to keep going.
Not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere. It's got to get better.
All right, well, congratulations on your award today, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Eric, great day here today at the Andover Apache's football banquet. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Franklin. Well, the Lady Seahawks are flying high in the skies of South River these days, and they took their high-flying basketball show on the road to face a normally dominant Arundel team on Wednesday. The Wildcats jumped out to an early lead behind 8 first-half points from Barana Pickett. After halftime, South River found its shooting touch, scoring 23 in the second half, 7 from junior Allie Hopkins. But the big story on the evening were turnovers. South River caused Arundel to turn the ball over, yes, 25 times, helping the Seahawks come back to beat Arundel 46-36. Elsewhere, Cameron Ward scored 16 as the Broadneck Ladies defeated Southern 59-45. Ashley McPhail led all scorers with 17 points, but Annapolis lost a 1-point heartbreaker to Severna Park 60-59. And Meade doubles up on Chesapeake, beating the Cougars 82-44. Well, in this cold weather, the pool is a great place to go. And on a day like today, it is cold, so Annapolis, Chesapeake, and North County went indoors for the tri-meet on Tuesday. Taylor Gill won the 200 and 100 freestyle and swam on Annapolis's winning 200 medley relay and 400 freestyle relay. The Annapolis ladies were able to win the meet, and the Chesapeake boys won on the boys' side. Karla, that's all I have from the Sports Palace today, so I'm sending it back to you.
Thanks, Erik. Well, attention high school sophomores and juniors. Time is running out to apply for your chance to be a government official for the day. For the 4th consecutive year, County Executive Leopold, Anne Arundel County Public Schools, and the County Council are sponsoring a student model government program. Mark Chang from the Office of Community and Constituent Services is here in our Community Spotlight with more. Mark?
Thank you, Erik and Karla. I'm here in the Anne Arundel County Council chamber Well, we're here to talk about today the upcoming student model government process. Each year, the Office of Community and Constituent Services, through the Office of County Executive, and also in partnership with the Anne Arundel County Public Schools, reaches out to students in both 10th and 11th grade throughout the county, both in public and private schools, to participate in this program. Today, I'm here with Ms. Brenda Reber, Director of Community and Constituent Services, and also Mrs. Heather Jenkins with the Anne Arundel County School System, and she is the Administrator of Student Leadership and Development with the public school system. What I'd like to do is start off with Ms. Reber, and could you tell us an overview of what the student model government process is?
Sure. The student model government consists of 3 parts for the students. We bring them in for a day of orientation, then they have an opportunity for job shadowing, and then we have the mock council session itself.
Great. And what role does the Community and Constituent Services have in developing the program?
Oh, well, we give an overview to the students of all the departments in the county, and we also come up with debate topics for them to use at the council session, things that may be interesting to the students.
Sure. Ms. Reber, could you tell us why County Executive Leopold finds this program very important for the students?
Well, County Executive Leopold thinks it's important for the students to learn what government is all about through a hands-on experience.
You mentioned earlier about a job shadowing component to the program. Could you tell us a little more about that?
Of course. On the applications, the students get to indicate what departments they find interesting. And we match the students with a director of those departments to spend a day together and learn how it really works, the bare bones of how government works.
And how can students get more information about this program?
Well, they can get more information through their public schools or by contacting the Office of Community and Constituent Services.
And what's that number?
The number for us is 410-222-1785.
And what is the deadline for those applications?
Oh, the deadline for the applications is February 4th.
Great, great. Jumping over to Mrs. Jenkins, I know the Office of Community and Constituent Services really appreciate all the help and support that your office has provided in the past. Could you tell the folks out there what your office specifically does for the students in Anne Arundel County?
Sure, Mark. Well, as you mentioned, I'm the administrator for the Office of Student Leadership Development, and my office really focuses on any sort of opportunity or different programs that students can participate in to cultivate leadership skills, be it a program that teaches leadership skills or, in the case of model government, where they're actually able to practice the skills that they do have. A lot of times we work with outside organizations such as the county council, the state government, community organizations, even our student governments within our schools to help provide those opportunities for students.
Great. And how is your office publicizing this program this year?
Once we receive the information, we send it out to all of our high schools, to our principals, our social studies department chairs, our student government advisors, so in different areas where students in the clubs or classes or programs would most likely be able to participate in this model government program. But all students have the opportunity and access to the information within our school system. Also, if they didn't get it in the classroom or within the schoolhouse, on our Anne Arundel County Public Schools website, we also have a newsletter called the Access Newsletter that's for students, parents, teachers, community members, and business partners, where they could also get that information electronically.
Great. And with your office focusing on student leadership, how is this program cultivating leadership with the students in the county?
Well, when we look at leadership, a lot of times we first look at the ability for students to develop their leadership or personal leadership, where they're actually looking at the skills that it takes to become a leader. Then we like to look for opportunities to utilize those skills in both the school and community. And then the final level of leadership is looking at civic engagement, which model government is an excellent example of, where students can actually utilize those leadership skills in a real-world situation.
Thank you, Mrs. Jenkins, and thank you, Ms. Reber, for both being on the program and to talk about the student model government process. So for all you 10th and 11th grade students who are out there, please get those applications in. And again, if you need an application, please contact the Office of Community and Constituent Services at 410-222-1785. And the deadline to get those applications is Friday, February 4th. And the MALC Council will be here in Annapolis on Monday, March 21st. Back to you in the studio.
Well, that program looks like a good resume builder and a lot of fun. Erik, if you could be the head of a department in the county for the day, what would you be?
For just one day? I think I'd have to be the, gosh, I know all the department heads are probably watching this and they're going to say, it would be my department. No.
Office of Emergency Management.
No, I don't want to work with Hodge. No. I think I'd take Rec and Parks. I mean, it's just a sports guy in me. I got to take Rec and Parks and, go out to the swim centers and visit the parks and check out the athletic
That sounds like a pretty
games.
good job.
It's a tough job. There's a lot of, I tell you, Rec and Parks, land preservation, there's a lot of things that go into recreation and parks. But enough about me. What about you? What job would you take?
You know what? I wouldn't mind being Captain Hodge for the day. I might do emergency management.
You'd want to be Captain Hodge. You'd want to be Captain Hodge at all? Oh,
I would want to switch places with Captain Hodge for the day.
I understand. I understand. Well, that's good. Captain Hodge is a great guy. Does a wonderful job in our emergency operations centers. And if I don't say so, he'll probably beat me up because he's 3 times my size. We did a lot in this show about high schoolers. We had our Battle of the Bands folks on. We talked about student model government. Great program coming up. If you're a high schooler and you're watching the show, get your resume in, get your application in.
There's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, and high school sports. Talked a lot about high school sports, but I want to focus on one thing here, swimming. I did a little report in the Sports Palace about swimming. I understand you were a swimmer.
I was a swimmer.
Back in the day.
I was, yeah.
So what did you compete in? What type of events?
Mostly distance freestyle. I had the kind of tough job of always doing the 500, which was the longest event in high school swimming when I was around. I think it still is. Sometimes the 200 individual medley, which is hard because you have to do every stroke, a little bit of every stroke. And but I liked doing relays a lot because you're swimming with other people, and it's so short. It's only a couple of laps.
So tell me this. You did most of your swimming in the pool. Any type of distance swimming in open water?
I was going to say, I think I did all my swimming in the pool. No, not really, though. I was open water certified as a lifeguard. So.
Did you ever save anybody's life?
No, I mostly yelled at kids to stop running.
Yelling at kids, preparing you for maybe a future role as a mom someday.
There you go.
So that works.
What about you, Eric?
What about me?
Yeah.
I watch people swim. No, I love the water, but I never was on a swim team or anything like that. I wrestled and played baseball and soccer and football and all the other sports, but we never had swim teams when I was in high school. So,
yeah.
But I was never a lifeguard, never saved anybody. No good stories like that. Well, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archived episodes are available at blip.tv, and you can also subscribe to our free video podcast at iTunes. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around your county. We'll see you next time.